everybody, how's it going? Um, Howie just got home from trying out the car at the track. He had an alignment done at work, but it's not the alignment. He thinks it's the walls going on the sidewalls going on his slick tires. So yeah, not not awesome. Not awesome for him. Hey, Patricia and Phoebe, how's it going? I'm not doing any readings today. Um, I wasn't going to do Sassy Saturday tonight, but because I blew my right knee, but I've put some pain relief cream on it, and it seems to be doing the job. Although I will not be dancing tonight. Hey! How you doing, Seashell? So yeah, I just thought I'd come on and let y'all know what's going on. Um, we're going to be either taking Briar's quilt off the frame and putting Mikey's on. I've got to finish Mikey's top though. Hey, Carolyn, how you doing? I've got a great big canner, my biggest tall canner full of scraps, pressure cooking it to make broth. I went out and watered the garden because, how he checked the well and he said, yes, absolutely, go ahead and water the garden. But all I watered was what is need. I watered the celery. I watered the beets, which are also getting eaten down to the ground, and I watered my beans. Everything else is just toast. Everything else is done. So, hey, Corey, Fruit Slinger, Soulsby, Carolyn Benjamin, Patricia Carson, Phoebe Long, and our own Seashell. So, yeah, there's going to be live sewing videos. Live sewing video, more sewing and quilting videos this week. And hey, Sarah, and Cheryl, and S. Bender, and Lena. Oh, God bless you, Lena. Beautiful is not so, unless you're reflecting my spirit, and then I will gladly say thank you. Hey, Kathy. So, yeah, I went out in the garden, and coming in, I blew my knee, my right knee. So I've put pain relief cream on it, and I think we're going to go ahead with Sassy Saturday as soon as I'm done here. Well, not quite as soon as I'm done here, but yeah, pretty close. Where did my phone go? Where did my phone go? Must be in the bathroom. So, oops. But you know what? I'm making broth. And here's something I never thought of before. I saved all the hollow beans, the ones that were like, they looked real good, but you couldn't snap them because they were hollow. I saved up, there wasn't a lot, but I saved that and all the ends off the beans that I canned. And I had probably a half-gallon jar full, probably. And so when I put them in with all the onion scraps, carrot scraps, chicken and turkey and all that stuff, because I know that green beans, when my kids were little, they asked, like Arthur loved to drink the water from bean juice jar. Like, he'd say, can I have the bean water when you're done? Right? Whose birthday is it? I'm going to get some. I am going to get some. So much of your sister. Well, thank you. I'm everybody's sister. I'm everybody's auntie. I am someone's auntie, someone's mom, someone's grandma, someone's sister, someone's daughter. I can be it all for you guys, right? That's where we're family, so to speak. Yeah, well, these beans weren't that great for raw eating, but I only got 26 pints. What bugs the crap out of me is that the last time I bought beans, remember me showing you the video what I got from the farmer's market? I got a half a bushel, or I got one. The last time I bought beans, I got a bushel for $40. This time, I got a half a bushel for $55. So, and I only got 26 pints and 1 quart of dehydrated beans. But I'm getting some of my beans on the plants. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest them as they come in, and I'm going to dehydrate them because it'll be nice to have them with chicken and rice. Hey, Nat, how's it going? Happy Saturday, Jazzy. Aaron M. My YouTube auntie. Exactly. I used to love raw beans. I can't chew things anymore, right? So, because the little space here I can chew. I can't chew here because this tooth here is by the gap is really, really loose and it's really, really sore. So lots of folks saying their gardens are awful this year. Well, can you blame them? Between the weather being monkeyed with and chemicals raining down on us from and heavy metals raining down on us from the sky, right? So, I mean, this is the worst garden I've ever had. Like, this is the worst garden that since we've been here, since we've moved here. Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to be going to the farmer's market on Friday and hope, with fingers crossed, that I can get a bushel of peppers. I may have to wait for sales for celery and onions, because celery was on sale this week, but I didn't have any money. So no cents. It was 87 cents a thing. So whose birthday is it? I figured that's what you meant, Jazzy. Just working on projects I need to get done by the 29th because I'm having a get together on the 30th. Don't overdo it, Nat, please. Don't overdo it. Yeah, it's been awful expensive. But you know me, folks. I will, even if it's not on sale, I will probably budget extra things like celery and onions and even peppers, if I can't get them at the market, into my weekly or bi-weekly groceries so that I can start stocking the pantry. My pantry is bare. It's bare. I feel like old Mother Hubbard, really. And the only reason I've got anything to can tomorrow is because I'm making broth because we need it, right? I use it in chicken and rice. I use it in soups and all kinds of stuff. So, and the reason celery is so expensive is because of the drought conditions this year, right? So, I mean, that's kind of what's going on. But I just found out that my disability rebate check may not be here till like November. And I was really counting on that to stock my pantry some more with dry goods and meat, right? Phoebe, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Pardon me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sweet Phoebe Long. Made that a long note for you. Happy birthday to you. And many more. There you go. Hey, Mama Dukes, how's it going? Yeah, I'm glad yours is extra full. Mine's extra empty because we've been living out of it. Sorry, I just felt like I was getting bit by a flea, but it's just my toe. Oh, don't cry. Don't cry. Why? It's supposed to be celebrate good times. Come on. It's your birthday. They say it's your birthday. Do, 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 do. We're gonna have a good time. Oh, I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you're doing good. This is basically me coming in and saying, hey, how's it going? So once my broth is done, I'm going to get Howie to, once it cools down enough to handle, I'm going to get Howie to strain it for me so I can put it in the fridge. And then tomorrow I will scrape the fat off. I'm really pinching, guys. I've been saving my bacon grease, even though we don't eat bacon more than once or twice a month now because it's so expensive. Um, but I've been saving. I just put a little strainer over and I have a jar. But when the broth is cooled enough to go in the fridge, the fat will rise to the top and solidify overnight. And I will scrape that off and put it in a different jar in the fridge for cooking with, like frying with, because they call it schmaltz, which is usually duck fat or right, but chicken fat, poultry fat is schmaltz. So someone brought you a cake. Oh, well, that's very nice. That's lovely. So yeah, I'm canning broth tomorrow. And then I'm hoping Monday I will have enough beans. The rest, any beans I get from here on out, I'm not going to can. I'm going to dehydrate. Well, Deborah, do you have a dehydrator? Because Joe Mama says, are they pickling cucumbers or regular? Peel them, right? But leave a little bit of the green, like just peel some strips off. Spritz them with vinegar. Now make them about a 1/4 inch thick. Spritz them with vinegar and dust them with dill or salt and or dill and salt, and then dehydrate them. Apparently they're very delicious. Someone brought me a maid. Well, depending on how much money I get when my rebate comes in, I'm planning on my teeth being the first thing because I can't chew, right? Uh, right, and these there's no molars on the top over here, so I can't eat. I can eat, but I have to like literally rip meat apart into little shreds to eat it because I can't chew. Not pickle. Well, you could do look up refrigerator pickles, right? What kind of oil did you buy? See, still have lard in the fridge. I'm going to be making soap soon. I have lard from our last pig still in the pantry fridge. I still have 2 pounds of lard in there of tender flake for when pie season starts. But I am now pinching everything. I'm skimming the fat off of the top of the broth. I'm saving my bacon grease, and when when my money comes in, I'm hoping to be able to go to Costco. Not that it'll be any cheaper than here, but I will be able to get some stock up for things like, oh yeah, those big bags of sugar I got at the Costco in Kingston. They there's moisture in them or something because they're sweating at the bottom of the jar and becoming hard. So weirdest thing I've ever seen. Hey, the only kind of oil I use now is these are the only real safe oils to use: avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil, peanut oil, sesame oil, but they're for different things, right? Hey, Renita, how are you? Well, I made beef, chicken, turkey, veggie, ham, mushroom broth. Do you know what you know what's in mine? Last Thanksgiving's or Christmas's turkey, or last Thanksgiving's turkey. Um, the carcass, which I put in a bag in the freezer. A couple of chicken carcasses, all the onion ends and skins that like the ends and the things I did off my last 10-pound bag of onions. I went out and pulled up 2 things of celery because they're not big at all. And I cut the roots off just to um, just to give it celery flavor. It's more like celery leaves almost. So frozen carrots that I had left last year. Remember, my dehydrator died and I had to do the carrots piecemeal. I have to buy a new dehydrator too. And so I'm going to, when the carrots come, if I don't have a new dehydrator by then, I'm going to chop, blanch, and fill the dehydrator. And then I'm going to put all of the carrots in a bag in the freezer. And every time I'm done dehydrating, I'm going to take carrots out of the freezer and put them in the dehydrator again. I'm going to make batch of sweet caramelized onions in slow cooker. So soon I will get a batch of onion broth. Well, I'm telling you. Oh, and there's a secret ingredient that I put in this batch of broth that you'll have growing. It's a weed. You'll have it growing either in your garden or around your yard. If you, unless you use bug sprays and weed stuff, don't use it then, right? But we don't spray anything on our land, so. Well, that's one thing I'm going to do, right? Because I got 4 beds of celery, and they're all only this big, and because they just keep getting eaten, the leaves get eaten off them. Nope, not lamb's quarters. Well, Bender, give it away. Do you know that there's more than 3 kinds of sorrel? I'm using mountain sorrel. It looks like a clover plant, but the flowers are little yellow 4 to 5 petaled flowers. Well, that's also what I want to do, but I've got to get my teeth fixed. Like these all have to come out, and I have to get false teeth, which will be a life with the Wolfies journey. Um, Verdolaga. There is mountain sorrel, wood sorrel, and another kind of sorrel. Mine is wood sorrel. We do need to eat more weeds. Sorrel makes real nourishing soup. My wedding bouquet. My bouquet from Howie this year was beautiful dill. And that's another thing. I stripped everything I couldn't use. I stripped heads and leaves off those dill plants that I didn't use, and I put them in a baggie in the freezer. Well, you can add a little bit to a salad, but it's better if you put it in soup. So that's why I've added a little bouquet of wood sorrel in my soup broth. Hey, Sue, how are you? Hi, Kel. How's it going? So yeah, it's going to be, I don't even know what time it is here. I'm going to start getting my self ready for Freaky Friday. Now let's just close this. Well, not Freaky Friday, Sassy Saturday, right? So I gotta go check my canner. I'll be right back. I remember one day somebody in one of my live streams left a comment after the live stream. My God, that's disgusting. Wash your bra. That's the color of my bra, see? I tell you, some people. Um, my daughter got me dill weed, so I cleaned it and dehydrated it. Now I'm good on dill. I never thought to dehydrate it. I found a massive patch of pineapple weed today. Isn't that the stuff that looks like the beginnings of chamomile? There's the little pineapple weed, and then there's chamomile. Yeah, it's a very neutral color. Okay, well you know what, Kel, will you take pictures for me, because I'm going to start looking into stuff like that. I'm going to start looking into stuff like that, because what else have we got, right? My property is, excuse me, our property is loaded with medicinal herbals and edible herbs. I've got a huge comfrey plant. I've got colt's foot. Don't ask me what it's good for. You'd have to look it up. I've got colt's foot, marshmallow, yarrow, plantain, sorrel. I got purslane growing. I was going to pick the purslane and put it in a salad, but I don't have any lettuce. So, I mean, look these things up, folks. I have a little wee booklet somewhere that shows you the edibles. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. These are patches for, that's cool. It's great in soda water or tonic water. Yes, I will take pics. Mullein, thank you. It grows wild all over the place. And they say, if you look at Kel Storm's comment, I have mullein, which is we call it cowboy bum white, because the leaves get big and they're like velvet, right? And the flowers that can be used as in making a cough syrup. But if you put the leaves together with sage and dry them, mullein leaves and sage, and mix it in your herb, you know what I mean? It actually helps your lungs to stop from getting clogged up. You can smoke it. Just saying. Yeah, the yellow flowers. The yellow flowers are good for like making cough stuff. But I'm going to start. I'm going to do some more. I'm going to make some plantain. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. Exactly, Renita. Thank you. I have to be really careful about what I say, because this is a highly censored channel. This is a highly censored platform, YouTube and YouTube, Facebook, and what's the other one? Every time I say Facebook, I can't remember. Instagram. So thank you, Jack. So yeah, got a nice big pot of broth, just going, and then yes, absolutely do your own research. Do your own research. But so if I get any more cucumbers, I'm going to try what Joe Mama said and slice them a 1/4 inch thick and then spritz them with vinegar and salt and dehydrate them. She said they're salt and vinegar chips. Yes, everybody do your own research. Actually go to the library and get books. Okay? Books are the shortest way to getting the correct information, rather than it used to be, oh, it was so bad. My God, just on the internet and everything's there at the touch of a finger. So I stopped going to the library. Guess what? Go back to the library. The best place is go to Value Village or any kind of thrift store and go into their book section and start looking for books on gardening, books on propagating fruit trees, books on canning, books on dehydrating, books on animal processing, books on everything you can think of to make stuff. That is invaluable information. And they're not letting people share it anymore because, well, it could be, you could be giving people the wrong information. What's Pizzoli? What's Pizzoli? That sounds very Italian. So, oh, do you know what I forgot to put in my broth? Garlic. Oh, well. Yes, books need to be valued again. They really need to be. Oh, I got to phone Howie. He's out in the coach in the air conditioning. Gonna ask. I gotta cook him something before I go live on Patreon. I'll tell you about. Raise your hand if you don't know what my Patreon what I'm talking about when I say my Patreon.
Hello.
Hi, baby. There's 6 eggs left. You want me to make you a couple of yolky egg sandwiches when I'm done my live?
No, I don't think so. I think Gracie and I just ate a couple turnovers and had a glass of milk, so
Okay.
I think we're all right.
Okay, well, I'm going to finish my live and then I'm going to do my Sassy Saturday. So tomorrow is ours.
So, you know,
Okay, I love you, sweetie.
so I'm going to put some drops in my eyes.
And just chill.
Yeah,
Okay, baby. I love you.
I'm watching a Fifth Estate on pet medications,
Yeah?
and there are places, I think it's Pet, I'll see if I can find the name again. The whole vet thing,
Yeah, it's a farce.
no, it goes against competition rules because you're just cutting out pharmacists. Pharmacists can fill prescriptions for medications.
Yeah, but it cost me $15 to get the prescription from the vet.
I know.
And then I can order online.
If we were Diane and got 10 prescriptions, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I'm on a live stream, dear.
Oh.
Be careful what you say.
Yeah, you get 10 and put a 0.
Yeah. But I think what I'm giving her now is actually doing pretty good.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is the competition thing of Canada is looking into it, saying, "Hey, this is wrong."
Yeah, vets aren't supposed.
The market.
Yeah, vets aren't supposed to. Yeah, I got it. They're cornering the market on their meds, right?
The whole marketplace thing is about how.
Well, we'll remember that with our next dogs,
Yeah.
if we ever have more.
Maybe we'll think about insurance.
That's no. I've looked into it. It's a scam. Insurance only helps if they have an accident or if they need emergency surgery. It doesn't cover anything else. It doesn't cover drugs. It doesn't cover her getting fixed. Nothing.
There are some, but anyway, we'll talk later. Bye-bye.
All right. Love you. Bye. Sorry about that, folks. You were dropping in on a call because he had a burger and fries at the track today, and he seemed a little bit disappointed that I said I was going live and then live again. So I just offered to make him some. I'm going to have toasted tomato sandwiches for my supper when I go to bed. I ate a half a PB&J. It didn't taste right. Gracie didn't want it. So what's the third link? You save them on a USB stick. I have sites to download free PDF books from. Canning, cooking, reading, herbal, etc. I can give you the link if anyone's like, yeah. I got a printer. I got a tank printer that's telling me I don't use it enough. So that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I also have, um, I have a complete set of, of, I'll get one of them. My father asked me if I wanted any of those books because he had built an entire wall of bookshelves, and these were the books I asked for. Oh, I'll get you one and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. I grabbed one because I wanted to look at the date on these. This is a set that my mother got for my dad. Kind of like the Time Life books. You get a copy a month. Instead of, my parents got records. If you don't know what a record is, raise your hand. My parents got records and books all through Time Life. And this is the Popular Mechanics Encyclopedia set. And it goes from A to Z. And, oh no, it's not going to tell me the publishing date. It tells you about stuff. Projective plan. Oh my God. You know what? My dad made one of these. My dad used these books a lot. These are from, I believe, the 60s. And this book is SH to ST. I think it's number 10. And let me just give you an example. Early American Spice Rack. And the plans. To another spice rack. Making a little spice chest. I think we have to go back here. Look at this. The plans on how to make a spinning wheel. I mean, there's easier ways to make them now, but it's got all the diagrams and the measurements, step-by-step instructions. Here's how to make, my dad made this rowboat. My dad made that rowboat. We took it camping. Let's see what else is in here. There's even match the spark plug to your outboard. There's stuff in here people don't know anymore. These are all about spark plugs. A little electric motor that spins in the sun. Soldering tricks. How to put in sliding glass doors. Wow. A compound slide rest for a tool lathe. I mean, this stuff, this is just in the S's. Ski parallel one day in one day. Something that teaches you how to ski. What is this? How to make signs. How to do siding. I mean, these books are invaluable. In one of these, the S before that tells you how to make a septic bed. They don't tell you that stuff anymore. When we lived in Ontario, when we lived in Ontario, um, we bought this little house for it was 53,000. No, yeah, 53,000. It had the half rooms upstairs, with the ceilings. We had to put knee walls in and stuff. And our septic was no good. And because we were only on a quarter acre, when we had the inspection guy come out and tell, like, we got a price, the septic guy came out and he said there is absolutely no way I can legally put a septic in here again. And I said, why? He said, it's way too close to your well. I said, yeah, but the septic goes downhill. And the well's over there. And he said, still, they don't go by that. They go by how far away. And I said, well, damn. And this was before we were given the books. And I went, damn. He said, but, for a case of beer, I'll tell you how to do it. And we did. Um, he said, but I can't do it for you and I can't put my name down, right? Because it was an old septic tank with only one tank, and the weeping bed was made of clay tile, and they had all busted down, right? So Howie got a case of beer, and we were not drinking, but this is what it required: a case of beer and $50 to two neighbors across the road to come and dig out our septic bed, dig it right down. And then Howie made a weeping bed and like gravel, and then weeping gravel, and then sand, and it was a beautiful septic bed. And it's the best part of what's left of that poor falling down house. Yeah, go to auctions, go to thrift stores. All right. Where I get my books, a lot of my books is like thrift stores. I even saw a Quran in the thrift store. And hey, Kelly, my goodness, what time? Okay, don't tell me. 8 and 8 is 12. It's got to be like 9:30, quarter to 10 p.m. there, eh? No, I mean in the morning, quarter to 10 in the morning. I love going in the local bookshop. Out back is a section of old smelly books. I can spend hours. Me too. I love books. As a matter of fact, we've gotten rid of the piano, and I want more bookshelves. I want more bookshelves. I'm missing my yearbooks from high school. I think they're in a trunk downstairs. Yeah, absolutely love secondhand bookstores. My favorite though is like Value Village, St. Vincent de Paul, um, the Salvation Army, any kind of thrift store will have tons of books. We'll have tons of books, and you just go through them. And the first thing people throw away is recipe books and gardening books and all, because they can look it up on the internet. Well, the internet's no longer a source of reliable information, you know? So you get conflicting stories on everything. Books have to be researched before they're published, right? So 9:36 right now. Okay, that's what I said about 9:30, quarter to 10. I was about right. I have a nephew in New South Wales. So anyway, um, so if I can encourage you to do anything, you know, start looking for books. Books that give you simple instructions or complex instructions. In that set of books, my father built, I mean, Howie built one too, years and years later. A thing out of Santa Claus stuck in the chimney cutout with elves laughing and all that stuff. We had it up on our roof with floodlights on it. My dad built that, and Howie built one year too, out of the same book. My brother Bill thinks it was from a Christmas card, but it wasn't. It was from this set of books. He made all kinds of stuff in town. One is for new books, the other is used, and I love that store. Hey, Glenda, how are you, darling? Well, pickled eggs, just make sure you have the right amount of vinegar and that they're never shelf stable. Even if you completely pickled them in straight vinegar, which would be way too acidic, pickled eggs are never shelf stable. Um, the ones you buy in the store that are on the shelf, those are specially prepared, loaded with vinegar, and they're done in industrial canners. It's not the same. So always, I have a little fridge in the pantry that if I make too many pickled eggs, I can just put it in that fridge. Or I have a little fridge downstairs too. So I think I'm going to give my small pantry freezer to Briar. It's newer and it's smaller, and then bring my small one the from the porch into my pantry. Well, make sure you give them a couple of days, you know, before you start eating them. Anyway, folks, if nothing else, remember the importance of books. Now, I'm going to say prayer and I'm going to get set up for my Patreon's live stream, Sassy Saturday. Got to get the disco lights going and the music and make sure everything's working. We have 6 little free library sites in our small Sierra town. Little Free Library org shows little free library sites in the world. I'm a rabid nonfiction bibliophile. I like fiction too, but I like, you know, hi Sherry. I know the only problem is like I went to, when we were down to see Arthur, I saw a paperback book because he was given a whole bunch of books, and Arthur's a bookworm. Arthur is a book collector and a bookworm, and he had. I saw a paperback copy of Mario Puzo's The Sicilian on his coffee table, and I went, "Who doesn't know who Mario Puzo is? Raise your hand if you don't know who Mario Puzo is." I pickled spicy eggs, and mine are shelf stable. I got a 5-gallon bucket from Ruby's Pantry, so I pickled them, and they are good. It's the problem is you can't get all the way into the center of the egg where the yolk is. You know what I mean? Okay, Mario Puzo wrote The Godfather. And so there was a paperback cover of The Sicilian, and I'd like to actually get the Godfather series in books so that I could read it. But I think The Sicilian's the prequel. And I went, ooh, and Arthur said, you can have it. I said, can I? And so, and he brought me a box and he put some books in. There's a history on Toronto Hydro where my dad used to work and stuff like that. And I put it in that box. He was giving me a box of books. And he went and took the paperback and walked into his room. And I went, what are you doing? And he came back with the hardcover. He said, yeah, there's 2 of them. I said, see, I love stuff like that, you know. Yeah, Mario Puzo wrote The Godfather. So, hey, Kathy, how are you, darling? How's it going? I'm just about getting ready to leave. We're going to be live on for my Sassy Saturday at between 8 and 8:30. So I have to go shut my canner off and stuff. But I'm going to say a little prayer before we go. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay for it. But when I ask you if I can pray for you or with you, I'm not asking you to be a part of my religion. I'm not asking you to believe what I believe. I'm just asking you to accept the gift of a blessing. You don't have to do anything else, right? I have a USA farming book from the 1890s. Somewhere I have a book on from cooking, a cookbook from the 1700s. One is helpful, the other is fiction. Mine are mostly It's probably about 50-50. But I need more bookshelves. I really do. Anyway, for all those who care to, I'm going to close with a bit of a blessing, and that means I'm going to appeal to my higher power. You appeal to your faith, and we will meet in the middle somewhere where God's love unites us all. Right? So, a couple of deep breaths. Hey, God, creator and source of everything on this world and off it. Thank you, God, for bringing us together for these little tea break visits. We learn a lot from each other. We share a lot of information and we share support. And I think that's what our community is. Even when we're not doing videos on things, we're still sharing information on our live streams. And God, you know, there's a lot of chaos going on in the world. There's a lot of people who are having trouble with their gardens and their wells and finances and jobs and all of these things. God, we're just going to lift all of our problems up to you, all of our little things, our big things. And we're asking, God, that you pour your love down over us and you fill us so full of the light of your love that we glow with it. Because we know, God, the only thing that parts the darkness ever is illumination. So thank you, God, for reminding us that books are important. And so is our connections to people even a half a world away. Man, namaste. Peace be with you. Merry meet, blessed be. Miigwech. Walk in the shining light of God's love. Whatever words you use, when we lock hands and come together, God's always there, right? Never far away. All we have to do is reach out and talk. Take care. God bless.